Thank you, Madam Speaker, for granting me the opportunity to contribute on this very important audit report by the Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe. Madam Speaker, as you know, Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe is one of the most serious legislators that I have interacted with in this House. He takes his work very, very seriously. And by the virtue of his seriousness, I also vouch for the seriousness of his committee's report. Kenyans need to know, Madam Speaker, that outside the mainstream public service that is superintended by principal secretaries, there are a lot of resources that lie in parastatus, as they were. And therefore, reports of audit committees relating to parastatus are as relevant as audit reports of the mainstream public service. And therefore, because there is a lot of financial, land, and property resources within our parastatus, audit committees of the people's representatives in this House ought to look into the financial and other affairs of those parastatus in a very serious manner so that public resources, as has been said in this House, are safeguarded. Madam Speaker, I am in support of this report, but even as I support this report, I want to urge the audit committees of this House to move from where we have been, because looking at audit reports every other time, the toughest recommendation that we make are normally very lenient. It has come a time when audit committees need to recommend that accounting officers who superintend over misappropriation of public resources should be barred from holding public office. I have, in my time in the Public Accounts Committee and reading through many audit reports, we have been shy to make radical recommendations in our audit committees, and therefore I want to urge, as we support this report, the audit committees of this House to be bold enough where you find that resources are being misappropriated to make the recommendation that the people who superintended over that misuse of public resources should never hold public resources. That is the moment Kenyans will begin to take this House seriously, and that is the moment this House will have taken a frontal role in the fight against corruption. Because as you know, Madam Speaker, under Chapter 6 of the Constitution and under the Leadership and Integrity Act and the practice that has been established in our country, if a person is named in an audit in a parliamentary report as not being fit to hold public office, that person indeed can never hold a public office in future. And that is when people will realize that public office is a trust. You do not go to public office to enrich yourself. That is the time people will realize that Parliament, as the people's watchdog, can bite. We do not just bark, we can also bite. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I congratulate the committee that is led by my good friend and support their report, but add that our audit committees, all of them, beginning from the most premier Public Accounts Committee and the PICs in their severalty, must now make recommendations that are radical so that Parliament, going forward, is taken seriously. I thank you, Madam Speaker.